School life in Japan is governed by rules and regulations that may seem strict or even strange to outsiders. These rules shape not only the daily lives of students, but also their mindset, teaching discipline, respect, and uniformity. Some of these regulations are practical, while others can be seen as extreme or even controversial. Let's dive into 15 of the most surprising school rules in Japan that you probably won't believe exist. Number 15. Mandatory white underwear for female students. One of the most controversial rules in Japanese schools is that female students are required to wear white underwear. This rule isn't just suggested. It's enforced with regular checks, where female teachers might pull up bra straps to inspect compliance. The official reasoning behind this is to maintain uniformity and prevent colored underwear from showing through white uniforms. Critics, however, argue that it's an invasion of privacy, sparking debates and pushback from both students and parents. Yet, despite the controversy, this rule is still in place in many schools, illustrating how deeply ingrained the idea of conformity is in the education system. Number 14. No food from home. Allowed in elementary and junior high schools across Japan, students aren't allowed to bring food from home. Instead, they are required to eat the meals provided by the school, which usually consist of well-balanced dishes like rice, fish, soup, and vegetables. The reasoning behind this is to ensure that every child has access to nutritious food, regardless of their financial situation. Schools even impose penalties on students who fail to finish their meals. While some may see this as a positive measure, promoting equality and health, others might find it strange that students are denied the comfort of homemade food. For high school students, the rules are more relaxed, allowing them to bring bento boxes from home, a tradition that allows for creative and colorful lunches. Number 13. Prohibition on hair dye and curly hair. In many Japanese schools, black hair is considered the standard. Students with naturally lighter or differently colored hair are often required to provide proof, like childhood photos, that their hair is naturally that color. Otherwise, they're forced to dye it black to conform to the school's regulations. Similarly, students with naturally curly hair are expected to straighten it. The rigid enforcement of these rules has led to public outcry, particularly in cases where students are pressured to alter their natural appearance just to fit in. For many, these rules feel outdated and discriminatory, especially when they lead to situations where students are punished for something beyond their control. Number 12. Strict regulations on hairstyles. It doesn't stop at hair color. Even the style of a student's hair is subject to scrutiny. Boys are generally expected to keep their hair short, while girls must ensure their bangs don't fall below their eyebrows. Flashy styles like ponytails and buns are often banned. One of the reasons given for this restriction is that exposing the nape of the neck could be distracting to male students. This rule, seen by many as archaic, continues to be enforced despite its illogical basis. After all, short hair can expose the neck just as much as certain tied hairstyles. Number 11. No jewelry, accessories, or makeup. Japanese schools have strict rules when it comes to students' appearance. Jewelry, accessories like watches or headbands, and even makeup are strictly prohibited. This includes simple items like earrings or bracelets. The reasoning is that school is for studying, and these items are seen as unnecessary distractions. Even female students are not allowed to shave their legs. Schools argue that focusing on appearance could lead to a competitive environment or unwanted attention. But many believe these restrictions are too controlling and take away students' freedom of expression. Number 10. No romantic relationships allowed. While high school romances are often glorified in Japanese media, the reality is much more restrictive. Relationships are strictly forbidden in many schools. Teachers go as far as monitoring interactions between students of the opposite sex and questioning those who appear too friendly. The reasoning is that students are too young to be involved in romantic relationships and should focus on their studies instead. Students caught in relationships might be reprimanded, with their parents being notified. While this rule might seem extreme, it highlights the focus Japanese schools place on discipline and academic achievement over personal relationships. Number 9. Strict uniform regulations. Uniforms are more than just a dress code in Japan. They are a significant part of the culture. Students are required to wear uniforms every day, and there are strict guidelines on how they should be worn. For girls, this includes regulations on skirt length, with schools often punishing students who roll up their waistbands to shorten their skirts. The idea is that uniforms eliminate social barriers and promote equality. However, for many students, these regulations feel like unnecessary control over their personal appearance and choices. Number 8. Rituals of bowing and greeting. Respect is a fundamental part of Japanese culture, and it starts in the schools. Every day, students are expected to bow and greet their teachers and peers multiple times. Whether it's entering the classroom or passing someone in the hallway, these rituals are non-negotiable. Some schools even begin the day with meditation sessions to help students focus and maintain a positive mindset. The emphasis on respect and courtesy is deeply ingrained and is something students carry with them throughout their lives. Number 7. Punctuality is taken seriously. Japanese schools are strict when it comes to punctuality. Students are expected to be in their classrooms by 8:30 a.m., and being late can have serious consequences, including cleaning duties before school. Even when students have legitimate reasons for being late, they need proper verification. This focus on punctuality reflects a cultural value in Japan, where being on time is seen as a sign of respect. It's no wonder that Japanese people are often praised for their time management and discipline, habits that are instilled from a young age. Number 6. No substitute teachers. When a teacher is absent in Japan, the class doesn't get a substitute. Instead, students are expected to self-study in silence. The reasoning behind this is that each teacher has a unique teaching style, and no substitute can replicate it. This practice encourages discipline, self-reliance, and respect for the educational process. Students learn to take responsibility for their learning and maintain order, even in the absence of authority figures. Number 5. Sleeping in class is a sign of diligence. In many countries, falling asleep in class is seen as disrespectful or lazy, but in Japan, it's often a sign of hard work. With packed schedules that include school, homework, and additional tutoring, students often don't get enough sleep. Teachers understand this and may even view napping during class as proof that a student has been pushing themselves to their limits. It's an example of how Japanese culture sometimes values effort and perseverance over results. Number 4. Students clean their own schools. Cleaning duties are an integral part of Japanese school life. There are no janitors. Instead, students are responsible for keeping their schools clean. Every day they spend time sweeping floors, wiping down surfaces, and ensuring that their environment is spotless. This daily practice isn't just about hygiene. It's about teaching students responsibility, teamwork, and respect for communal spaces. The habits formed here last a lifetime, promoting cleanliness and order in Japanese society as a whole. Number 3. No mobile phones allowed. In an era where mobile devices are a part of daily life, Japanese schools are strict about phone usage. Students can use their phones before and after school, but must turn them off and store them away during class. If caught using them, teachers have the authority to confiscate the device. Some schools even ban phones entirely. In certain cities, like Kurashiki, there are curfews that restrict phone usage after 9 p.m. The aim is to minimize distractions and ensure students are focused on their studies. Number 2. Mandatory participation in school. clubs. School clubs in Japan are more than just extracurricular activities. They're a core part of the school experience. Every student is expected to join a club, with participation often extending beyond regular school hours and into weekends. Clubs can be demanding, with rigorous training schedules and a strict hierarchy where senior members hold authority over juniors. This environment fosters discipline and teamwork, but it can also lead to stress and pressure as students are expected to fully commit to their chosen club. Number 1. Learning home. Economics is required. From a young age, Japanese students are taught home economics, covering skills like cooking, sewing, budgeting, and even basic carpentry. This isn't just a way to prepare students for adulthood. It's also about promoting gender equality by teaching both boys and girls how to take care of a household. The curriculum emphasizes self-sufficiency and responsibility, teaching students not just how to perform these tasks, but also why they matter. It's a holistic approach to education that goes beyond academics, shaping well-rounded individuals. These rules might seem excessive or even bizarre, but they reflect a culture that values discipline, respect, and uniformity. Japanese schools focus heavily on molding students into disciplined, responsible members of society. While some of these rules might feel outdated or unnecessarily strict, they have played a significant role in shaping the character and behavior of generations of Japanese students.